Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to take a look at the new release of Sparky Linux. Now, Sparky is one of my favorite Debian distributions, and I noticed that the new release, and I'm going to bring up the web page. The new release is out, and it's 4.2. I downloaded the XFCE version. I happen to like the XFCE desktop. You can do a lot with it. It's very modifiable and configurable. I also like the Mate, and I like LXDE. They all have their strong points. But for this review, I downloaded the XFCE version. Now, the new 4.2, it's based on Debian Testing. There are a few different editions. I downloaded the Home edition. Seems to have everything that you need. It installed easily. Had no issues with it. Let's see, if you look at the release information, it's based on fully compatible with Debian Testing Stretch. It's full system upgrade from Debian Testing as of December 15th. It's got the Linux kernel 4.2. I have as I said, I have the XFCE desktop. Comes with IceWeasel, IceDove, LibreOffice, Wine. I set up my printer, which configured without any issues, and I've tested it. Actually printed out a American Airlines boarding pass and had no issues at all. So it has a lot going for it. It seems to be very stable. As I said before, it is one of my favorite Debian distributions. Now, if we take a look, I'm going to close this out. This is the wallpaper that you see once you do your first install. If you go to desktop settings, you'll find that no alternatives come up. However, and now I even went to the backgrounds and no alternatives come up. But if you go to File System, or actually Other, and then File System, and then User, Share, and I think it's in Images, I'm not 100% sure. Images, yeah, and Desktop Base, and just open that. You'll find all of the stock Debian desktop wallpapers. So you've got quite a variety of Debian based desktop wallpapers that you can pick from, and they seem to be very nice. There are some different resolutions here, but I'm going to leave the stock wallpaper. Just wanted to show you where those were because they are hiding, and so I'm going to close that out. Now, for the icons, I usually set it to 40, 45 on the tooltips. I don't like the big, huge tooltips that usually are default. And then I took out the removable drives. I just left Trash, File System, and Home. So we will close that out. Now, if I take a look at the menu, first of all, when you first boot, it's going to come up with a screen that says First Boot, and it's going to give you the opportunity to do your updates. So I recommend that you do that. and it'll go through the update process, and then I believe you'll need to restart, and then you'll be back at this screen where it will tell you that your system is up to date. Now, XFCE is 4.12. Sparky version 4. It's got all of the information. It does have the i386 architecture enabled, so that will help you when you're installing things like Steam and Play on Linux. Now, Wine is already installed, and as I said, that'll help. There are no games, but as I said, if you want to play your Play on Linux games or Steam games, then you shouldn't have any issues. Now, one thing I haven't configured yet is the Nvidia graphics. Now, for Debian, I normally use the SGFXI script. Now, I'm going to see if they have anything here for driver configuration. Well, it has a device driver manager, so let's bring that up. Okay, now it's telling me I need the driver for my GeForce GT 740. If I do that, I believe I'm going to get the I think it's the 240 driver instead of the latest. So I'm not going to install that, because I believe the testing, Debian Testing, although the stock driver for Debian Testing usually runs fine, so maybe we'll give that a try. Let's try installing that. Now, it is going to have me reboot, and then I will reboot and see if all goes well. That way we'll know, if you download it and you follow the stock procedure, whether or not this will work for you. As I said, I usually install the latest drivers with the script, SGFXI script, but I don't think I will really need that in this case, so we'll just shoot for the... Okay, so it says the Nouveau driver is currently loaded. The easiest way is to reboot the machine to fix that. This is merely informational. Just click on forward if you see that. It's going to finish the install. Then I'm going to click quit, and then I will reboot, and I will be back with you so we can see how that Nvidia driver has been configured. Should only take a minute. Normally doesn't take too long to install the default Nvidia driver using the Debian Testing version. So this is just about done. Now, if we go back, while that's running, if we go back to the menu, there are some proprietary Sparky Linux things that they have included, and you can see Nvidia, the settings software has already been installed, but the driver isn't functioning as of yet. We need to restart. So I'm going to restart, guys, and I will be right back with you. Okay, guys, I am back. So let's take a look at that Nvidia and see if we have the proper driver installed. And so there is the software. Okay, so 340.96, and that's not the newest, but it should function fine. So that's great. It works like it's supposed to right out of the box. So if you have an Nvidia card and you're not comfortable doing anything else, just use the default Nvidia driver installer and you will be fine. So that's working fine. Now, as I said, I was able to configure my printer. As you can see, my printer is configured. It works fine. Let's see what other proprietary packages that Sparky has for us. Okay, so Sparky APTus basically gives you an easy way to upgrade the system. You can refresh your package list, safely upgrade the system, or upgrade the system. Now the safely, I believe, doesn't do anything with the kernel or anything. It probably just sticks to the grade 1, 2, and 3, nothing above the 3, so it gives you all of the safe upgrades. And then if you click on upgrade, it'll probably go and grab those 4s and 5s. You can install another kernel, other languages, the Licorice kernel, multimedia codecs. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and install the multimedia codecs because it's always a good idea, especially if you're going to do any type of video processing or YouTube videos, anything that's multimedia oriented. You'll want to get all those codecs installed. So you can install packages from the repository, reinstall a deb package from a local disk. So if you have a Debian file that you've downloaded, you can install it with this helper program. And then you can install your Office suite, probably installs LibreOffice, and Sparky APTus Extra. Now Sparky APTus Extra has a variety of programs. I'll go over that with you. Now you can remove non-free, remove old system kernel, remove a package from the system, and remove VirtualBox guest utils. Fix broken packages by apt and by dpackage. You can remove all deb packages, old deb packages, and unnecessary packages. So if you've installed Debian packages and you want to remove the Debian installer itself, you won't be removing the actual package, just the initial installer files that are not needed any longer. Same thing with the old. It will probably, if I click on that, it'll probably give you a date range to go beyond and pull out. That way you're not touching anything that you've installed recently, just in case you have to reinstall. You can edit your repositories, custom repositories, and main. That makes it easier than going in and modifying your sources list. Okay, so that's APTus. Now if we go into APTus Extra, you'll see that it gives you an easy way to download extra packages. So you can see that you've got a lot of packages here. Now some of them are installed, but you can see that you have a lot of packages to choose from if you want to install those. So let me see if I can expand that. And you can do things like Dropbox, Google Chrome, Google Earth, Grub Customizer. Let's see, Live USB Creator, that's installed. Nightingale is a multimedia player. You can install that. You can install your favorite Office suite. So that is already installed. Let me see what is listed under Office. It's all LibreOffice, so it looks like LibreOffice has already been installed, or if you click on that, it will go ahead and do the final installation. Has SeaMonkey Internet Suite, Skype. You can install Sparky APTus APTus Gamer. So those are all game emulators and other tools for gamers. Let's see, you can manage custom boot services with auto start. There are backup apps. You can install Compton, Conky. You can run your optical drives, screenshot, USB formatter. These are all installed. And if I keep going, you can see you can install VMware Player, XNView-MP, which is a photo editor, manager, and viewer. It's actually pretty good. You can install Variety if you want to change your wallpapers on a regular basis. It'll automate that for you. You can install Steam. I don't see Play on Linux, but you can install Steam. So if I click on Steam and I click OK, it's going to go through and install Steam. So, and that's been installed successfully. If I go, I'm going to close that out. If I go back to my menu, I now have a games category and Steam is listed there. So, so far, it looks like they've done all of the heavy lifting for you. Nothing really that you need to do except decide what you'd like to install and then use that automated installer package. Now these are the items available in your settings. So for appearance, you've got quite a variety of themes that you can pick from, and it does have dusk. If you prefer a dark theme, you can switch over to that. For icons, it has got ultra flat, Tango, high contrast, Nomad, Weta, and you can go in. One thing that's nice about XFCE, it's pretty easy to add themes and icon themes to your available packages and make it look whatever way you'd like. Now if you, I'm going to show you something. If I want to open up the terminal. Okay, let's see. We're going to go into XFCE terminal. Alright, so as you can see, it opens up in the top left. So I am going to go to settings, and I'm going to go to Window Manager Tweaks, Placement, and if I slide this, a lot of people put it all the way up, so we'll do that, but a lot of times I will leave it right about 90%. So if I move it up to large and I leave it at the center of the screen, compositing, it looks to be not enabled at this point in time, so we're going to leave it disabled. So now I set that up for the center of the screen, and let's see if the terminal, and it does. It opens in the center of the screen. So, as I said about XFCE, everything's pretty easy to configure. Nothing really difficult. If you want to set up your file manager on behavior, you can set it up to single click. I prefer the double click, the standard double click, but you can set it up for single click if you'd like. And I've already done the desktop. The screensaver is X screensaver. Normally it's set by default to random. I usually set only one, and I usually set slide screen. And what I do is I set it off my pictures folder. So if I click that, double click pictures, it will select from whatever pictures I have in the pictures folder. So that's usually where I set that. Now for power management, I usually disable everything. And I don't lock the screen. I usually bring these to never, and I uncheck once I do that. And that's probably redundant, but that's the way I like to do it. And then you can go back to your original settings. For session and startup, you can, if you go to application auto start, that's where you can set your startup applications for things like Redshift, pSensor, Synapse, things like that. You can have them start when you boot your system. So I'm going to wrap this up. Sparky Linux seems to be configured very nicely. It's a really nice Debian distribution based off testing, which is what I prefer. It gives you access to a larger variety of programs, and it gives you the later drivers and things like that. So everything seems to be working fine, guys. Sparky Linux, the new 4.2. I believe it was just released within the last day or two, and so I thought I'd do a short review on it. So that is it for Sparky. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you soon. Take care.